Welcome everybody to today's live show with the Common Sense Sisters and the whole squad today, bringing you live with sweet content. As you enter, like and share, remember to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever we're live. Woo! Hello, everybody!
We got kicked out of our own studio.
Something happened. Something kicked us out. Can you hear us?
If you can hear us, let us know.
If you can see or hear us, let us know. Hey, see sweet voice. See sweet voice that they... Do you see what just happened? Something just happened.
You gotta sing again, right?
I can't remember what I said.
Oh!
Welcome everybody to today's live show with the Common Sense Sisters, bringing you sweet content. As you come into the studio, remember to like, hit the share button, make sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell so you get notified. For that's just common sense. Yeah, don't take a yours.
Yes.
Something cut us off.
Can you imagine?
And we were raising this song.
Ha!
Yes.
Happy Saturday to everyone.
Welcome
to
everybody.
the Common Sense Sisters YouTube channel. If it's your first time of seeing this beautiful, gorgeous, intelligent,
come on,
unique, exotic, dynamic women, you are highly welcome. We are the wonderful, the one and only Common Sense Sisters on the app.
Yeah, you know how we do, baby.
Any other one you see is a
counterfeit.
Now, my name is Yo-Yo.
My name is Ella. To the Common Sense Squad, we greet you all specially here present live. Those that will be watching when they come in late, and those that will also watch in the future.
And please,
thank you.
As the viewers are increasing, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, because we know that whenever the gist is hot, we forget to do that.
And share the link. Let other people come and join. Only you cannot be receiving these dose of common sense. Come on!
I don't know. Regular scheduled
announcements. You know what the rules are. You have to be respectful, whether it's on the live show or when you're coming to watch as a playback. You have to be open-minded, stay on topic, don't use bad words, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, and share. If you're new to the channel, you can check out our About page to learn more about the Common Sense Sisters and the squad. You can visit the community page as well. This is where we post all our regular announcements and voting polls. And also, you can check out the playlist to watch more videos. We have over 200, what am I saying? Over 300 videos at this point. So you can binge watch all of them and watch the ads while you're at it. And finally, you can follow us on our different social media platforms. Okay. So, during the week, we posted a poll because these days we're not doing two live shows.
Sometimes
yours are liking it.
Yeah.
Yo, we have beautiful ideas. So like, let's include this poll. Let's ask them
Yeah.
What do they want us to talk about. There's so many things to talk about. Do they still want us to go relationshipy, or should we start going deeper into family affairs?
Yeah.
So we both decided that we posted this the poll, and we asked you all.
And these are your votes. If you did not vote, that means you don't check the community tab and put on your notification bell. Okay, so we put out this, I think it was on Wednesday, I believe, and then we can see the poll. Now, the highest votes there says vote number 1 and 2 topics.
And you know what that means? We are going to be having 2 live shows today.
So the first live show is going to be like an hour and a few minutes, and we'll dip out, we'll end it, and we'll bring in the second one.
At the same time, you know how we do it.
Now, the topic of today,
the first topic of today.
Boom! My African father killed my siblings after pastor accused us of witchcraft. Yo, Mary McCoy!
Mary McCoy in the building! Hi, Mary. You forgot to vote. No wahala. You can still go and vote. You can still go and vote.
Yeah. So, this is going to be the topic of today. And let me tell you all, this topic has been on our mind for over a year. We have been looking for time to be able to dish out this topic to you all, right? Toxic African parenting. No, toxic parenting is not unique to one race or culture. It is very diverse. The reason why sometimes we narrow it down to Africa is because that is where we are from.
Yeah.
So, and we know that there are people from different parts of the world that watch us, whether Africans or non-Africans. So if you can relate to this, it's also important that you come into the show when it's time for the debate to give your perspective. It is very, very important for the world to know that they are not alone in this journey of trying to deal with these heavy issues.
Yes, of course.
Now, this toxic African parenting is a vicious cycle. If you have been following our YouTube channel, you check out our playlist for the YouTube live videos. Last year, we did a very amazing live show on intentional parenting, where we had some parents who happens to be Common Sense Squad members. They came in live. We had fathers and mothers come in, and they talked about how they intentionally parent their children. Having said that, if you are a parent and you fall into the category of today's matter, you better bring your head here and your ear and your mind here. Toxic African parenting, it stems from the culture. Toxic African culture, right? This toxic African culture, we've also dealt with the topic. Check out our playlist for it. Now, this is the cycle. The cycle of toxic African parenting is this. Toxic parents, they will give birth to toxic kids. The toxic kids become toxic adults. These toxic adults, they get into relationships. And unfortunately, some of them become toxic leaders in the society. And the cycle what? Continues. It continues. However, in this era and this age, there's no excuse for you not to want to better yourself, or for you not to decide that you want to better yourself. If you look on the left, it's a book called How to Do the Work. Recognize your patterns, heal from the past, create yourself. And it's written by a holistic psychologist. I have been reading this book. Trust me, this book is amazing. So even if you cannot afford a therapist, you can start your journey by educating yourself, being open-minded to it.
And now, for people who complain and say, oh my God, I don't read books, it's too much. There's no excuse. There's YouTube. It's a wealth of knowledge. Google it.
And there's
audio books. Find audio books that will help you through that traumatic phase, so that you don't become what you did not like when you were growing up.
Yep. And now that brings us to this topic of today. There are traits of toxic African parenting, and we have a story to tell you today. But before we get to the story, let me analyze some of these traits. Number one trait of toxic parenting, blaming the child for giving birth to them. You see this where like some parents, if they are facing financial difficulties, they will say, oh, my child is a witch. This child I gave birth to. Since the day I gave birth to you, my business has been going down. Nothing has been doing well for me. Poverty and sickness.
Then you carry them to pastor for deliverance.
That takes us
to idiot and shidiot of a mother and father.
Oh, that takes us to number two, religiosity. Toxic religiosity. Yeah, I said it. Now, this is how it is. This type of toxic parents, most times they are Christians. The ones that are Christian, they will be using what they call the Bible to be exhibiting their toxic punishments on these children. They will manipulate them. They will tell you that, oh, a child must obey the father and the mother. This is also commandment. Thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother. But you do not know that you should not provoke the children to anger.
You're not supposed to honor your children.
Oh.
You think honoring is only for what?
Such parents will use the Bible to come and say, oh, as your parents, I gave birth to you, I'm responsible for you. You have to listen to me. You must listen to me. They don't apologize when they are wrong. No. Example, child will break plate, the parent will beat the child. When the parent break plates,
they laugh.
They say, oh, it's just a mistake. That's another one. Now, these children, when they grow up now, they become adults. Some parents don't know boundaries. Some parents, they give birth to children just for retirement's sake. That takes us down to number 3 point, black tax. Black tax is when African parents, you know, they decide that they are entitled to their parents, their children's money. So anytime their children earn salary every month,
they have to give them from it. Regardless of if they've accused this child of being a witch when they were small,
they will request for it. An adult child will say, oh, okay, I will be sending so and so amount of money home to my parents just to help them. They will send something like, let's say $500 a month. The parents say, is this what you're sending? Your mates are sending this, your mates are sending that. Some of these parents will push their children into what they call cybercrime, aka
Yahoo.
So we push them into ritualism that we are experiencing today.
So we initiate them into this so-called witchcraft topic that will be addressed after this intro
today. Yep, and that is also number 4. Yeah, number 4, shaming, public shaming. So they take their children out, they publicly shame them. I'm reporting you to pastor, I'm reporting you to your teacher. They will flog you, they will do this, they verbally abuse them emotionally, financially, socially, economically, and unfortunately, sexually. Now, then there's no respect for boundaries, and they are not willing to evolve.
They can never change.
So today's topic, we're going to be hammering on the witchcraft part, and that takes us to today's story.
There will be like the first story. There will be about 3 stories. We will narrate them. We analyze them individually. This is the plan of today, and then we'll put out a link. Invite the panel. Anybody is welcome to join the panel. You will click on the link and come and share
your thoughts.
Afterwards, we will end this live and begin another one still today. All right, everybody. We see everybody coming in.
Welcome. How are you?
Egosa, we see you. Greetings, Mystify.
Greetings.
If you're coming in, remember to hit the like button while we start with the first
story of today.
And
please hit the share, okay?
Before we even start with the first story, last year there was a comment on Twitter from somebody named Aproko Doctor. If he was savvy on Twitter, you might know him. And he said, there's a very thin line with what African parents think is discipline and abuse. Many of us grew up under abuse, but we regard it as normal because their parents did it to them. It's our style of parenting. Did you really turn out better or damaged? And so we responded. We said toxic African parenting has led to many damaged kids/youths. Some of us are walking traumas, and the sad thing is that we do not know. This trauma is manifested in different areas of our lives until we identify them, treat them, and unlearn some things. We cannot be free.
Facts.
Story number 1. Now, this lady on here on the screen is narrating how she was treated by her parents after she was labeled a witch by her pastor. Chika on Twitter said, I was barely 10 years old when my dad was shouting at me to release his business at a deliverance ground with so much anger and disgust in his eyes. Why? The pastor said that I was a witch who was holding back my dad's progress, all because I had big eyeballs. She disclosed that her mother was the one who took her father to the church. She said he kept shouting at her to release his business. In case you are wondering where my mom was, it was happening. And why she didn't defend me, she took me to church.
Yeah. Who took my father to church? She's the one.
She's the one. So in this first story, you will see that this girl was being accused of a witch, of being a witch because of her eyeballs.
So she has big eyeballs.
When a child has big eyeballs,
who did they get?
Is it not hereditary?
They
get it from their father, mother, or the ancestors, grandparents, and so on and so forth. So why would you take your child to a church for deliverance, and then a pastor will call a human being that came out from you a witch that is hindering your progress, and then you run with that?
If you are calling your child a witch, it means that you, the mother, you are a witch, because now winch they know winch. Now winch they know winch. Yeah, it means that you are a witch. And how can you, if you call yourself, you say you're a Christian, how do you just believe that the child that you have is a witch because of the eyeballs? Toxic African parenting.
Toxic African parenting. Story number 1. That leads us to story number 2. This doesn't only happen to girls, although it's mostly common for females, but this unfortunate act also happens to the male child.
Yeah.
So now we have this story of a boy, a 7-year-old boy who was abandoned over alleged witchcraft in Akwa Ibom. And you see that he was rescued. So let's move into the story. 7-year-old child rescue in the midnight. He was rescued by the Child Rights and Rehabilitation Network, CRARN. The child was seen wobbling on the streets in the midnight just now and brought to CRAN Children Center, Ikota Ifa, Ekte. He stinks with oil extracted from pythons, local palm kernel, and olive oil rubbed all over his body. He managed to say he is from Akwa Ibom, Aka Ubim in Akwa Ibom State, and was in a prayer house where he was bathed in hot oil, mixed leaves, and other concoctions. His ears were stuffed with the concoction which he was also forced to drink to exorcise him of a phantom and flimsy witchcraft spell. He seemed badly exhausted and speaks slowly as if he suffocated and has breath difficulty and hearing impairment. He could not respond to questions and blinks his eyes interminably with dazed and confused states. He's about 7 years of age and goes by the name Samson. That is the fate of thousands of children in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. To support Samson, go to the abandoned children, their websites on there on the screen for you to see. This is the second story.
This story is very painful because we are from Niger Delta. Delta State, to be precise. And this story of witchcraft, I don't know how the same African culture will say, give birth to children, no. Children are a gift from God. Children are a blessing from God. Give birth to children, no. The same children, you will harm them. How can you take a child? That's child abuse, number one. How can you take a child, you put them in prayer house, you immerse them in all
different
concussions, everything, and then you think that what you are doing, you are performing what they call, is it exorcism? So you are casting and binding
the demon,
deliverance. In plain English, deliverance. You are casting and binding.
Which children that have normal behavior, or maybe they are having issues, maybe it could be as little as failing your exam or not doing well in maths or something. They will take you to church and say they are doing deliverance. Let a child live. Treat children with respect. They are human beings. I keep on saying every human being, for the sake of their humanity, deserves respect, regardless of who they are, how old they are. How can you dehumanize your own child like this? After all this nonsense you do to them, you cast them away to the streets to go and suffer. And then you fuck and you born another one. And then you repeat
and they keep fucking and they keep giving.
And you repeat the same toxic cycle. How can you do this? Just look at this boy. Did he ask to be born? Did he ask to be born? And this leads us to another story. The first two stories, you will notice that these two were alive to tell their story. Now, the third one is on here. The third one is, you will see, a man was sentenced to death in Nigeria for killing his 11-year-old twin daughters after branding them witches. This happened in 2017. Festus, who was 33 years old at the time, killed his identical twin daughters, Emedion Festus and Mfoniso Festus, both 11 years old, after accusing them of being witches. He deceived them into believing that he was taking them to their mother, but on the way, in a bush path leading to their destruction, he stopped and gave them both poison malt drinks to drink, then abandoned them there on January 11th, 2017. The sisters were found by locals lying along the bush track in Apamba, Cross River State, with one dead and the other too weak to speak. When she eventually spoke, she told them what their father had done before she died in the hospital. Anyame Festus, on February 15th, was sentenced to death by hanging by Honorable Justice A.A. Onyebike of Cross River State High Court of Nigeria. Reacting to this judgment, the barrister said, "This is a great victory to victims, which are both the daughters and the government of Cross River State, at a period witchcraft branding and ritual killings has become pastime in the states. The UN has urged nations to take measures against abuse linked to witchcraft, beliefs, and ritual sacrifices. Stop witchcraft accusations with persecutions and ritual killings. Blood money is superstitions. Pastors, stop witchcraft branding and stigmatization."
The judge say, "He know they work."
It doesn't work.
That is from a judge, oh. That is from a judge.
Welcome, Theo.
Hi, Theo. Welcome. That is from a sitting judge in Nigeria. He know they work. Useless parents, those useless, toxic, low-life, lazy, foolish, wicked parents. I don't know why they will be having children, though.
I don't know.
You know, wicked people, they are the ones that procreate a lot.
I don't know. Yeah. This case happened in 2017, and he was 3 years old at that time, and the children were 11 years old. This means that he had them when he was 22 years. So why would you kill your twin daughters?
I don't understand.
Mary, so let's us protect.
Is that possible? Is it not the same?
Like, how can you bring a life and take it? How can you believe that something that was coined out of you is bad and evil?
I don't know the gravity of what brings people to that level. And I think it's because it's not ignorance. So they are lazy and they are wicked. This has got nothing to do with ignorance. Once you are lazy and you are wicked, you will find every excuse to take out your wickedness or act of wickedness on another human being. And unfortunately, these are kids. I think there's another one I had read in the past that he killed his daughter when he found out from the ex-wife that the daughter is not the child.
No, it's not about witchcraft, Steve.
Yeah, it's not about witchcraft, but yeah. So this nonsense level of witchcraftism and all these things, why? Hey,
Annie, greetings.
Why? Why? You useless, some of you that are Christians, foolish people that will be carrying your children to go and be exposing them in church, exposing them to priests, exposing them to pastors, to be shaming them
about deliverance. And the irony of this nonsense is that some of these kids that you're taking to deliverance, some of them are being molested.
Yes, many of them. A child will be playing a lot, playing soccer, playing also. Oh, this speaking they play too much. Not just in witchcraft.
Or they will say they took you to somewhere when you were small and you ate something.
Then
therefore you are possessed from what you have eaten.
I want to understand why. Why will you, as a parent that gave birth to your child, some of them will do the naming ceremony, naming ceremony, oh my child, do like that. Why would you not call the one that you bettered into this world a witch? Does that not mean you are a witch?
We've put the link in the comment section for anyone who cares to join. And while we are at it, I think we will just say the last story of the
impact on adulthood. And this is from Ghana.
And we read this story sometime this year, but apparently it's a thing that has been happening for many years. And you would see that cast out the women of Ghana, witch village in pictures.
Yeah.
As women age in rural Ghana, signs of dementia, mental health issues, or even menopausal symptoms can result in them being declared witches and pushed out of their communities. Around 80 women live in such exile in Kukwao village, witch village. Now you will see the first woman here, photographed by Robin Hamad. Safia Wimbi, who was 69 years old at the time, was suffering from debilitating migraines when she was accused of being a witch and driven out of her home and her village. She found refuge in the alleged witch village in Kukwao, in the district of somewhere in northern Ghana. Many women are accused of being witches because they have mental health conditions, while others develop illnesses after being ostracized by their community. The next woman is 63 years old, and she was accused of being a witch after her son died in a motorbike accident directly after two of them were heard arguing. He was my firstborn, and when they chased me out of my community, I couldn't even see him buried. My husband pleaded with the chief, but there was nothing he could do. My life is not good now. I sit and worry. People are like this, creating stories. Most of the accusers are men, because if you accuse your fellow woman, then tomorrow it will be you. Different stories, different traumas.
And this is happening in Ghana till date.
Right there in Ghana
till date.
And Ghana is one of the last countries in the world that still camps for witches.
Camps for witches. Some 300 women falsely accused of witchcraft are spread across 5 camps nationwide, shunned by the society. They often live in dire conditions. Some people accuse a woman of witchcraft to avoid paying back debt. So they are owing this woman to avoid paying back debt, or when the relationship fails, they will call the woman a witch. There are 2 NGOs now that are now trying to get these women rehabilitated into their former villages. How can you?
So you see that it doesn't even only happen to children, but even to women in their 60s and what. When we heard that there was a witch village, what in the world
is a witch village? Augusta said the worst one is branding children with autism and Down syndrome as witches. Quite sad. Yes, I saw that when I was growing up a lot. And if you notice, when people don't know what something is or something, they call it strange because it's not the norm. They will just call you a witch. Or they are trying to hide, like you see then in the Ghana story, he says that some of them that are owing the women debts, they don't want to pay the money that they are owing. They will call the woman a witch. they will call the woman a witch. So my thing is, it brings back to this circle. You see the vicious
circle.
You see the vicious circle. It brings us back to that. Now, the Ghanaian women that are adults, they fall into that, right? And you see how the society is. They've created that, and they've created a society that is toxic for those women. Very toxic for those women.
They go there, they live there for the rest of their lives. They give birth to children, their children are there. Everything, they are denied basic rights. How can you not see your son that died? Pay the last respect to your child.
And you wonder why some communities are not developing. All this wickedness.
It's the archaic mentality.
It's wickedness.
It's the archaic mentality. And I don't understand. Most of the people that do all these practices, and for the most part, you will see that they are Christians in Africa.
Yes.
So how can you be a Christian and even believe in all this nonsense? Talk less of your own child or your own mother or something, or woman that you fell in love with and you're asking her that she say no, you come around and you brand her as a witch.
Yeah, we want on my thing is no, there's too many traumas. I've listened to too many life stories. There are some that if they don't brand them witches, they will push them out of the house. Now these children, as young, they are not adults. Some of them are like in their 20s now, or almost 30. When they push them out, they have to start finding their way. So some of the children will find their way to be house boys or to be house girls,
some of them
or to be begging on the street.
Or some of them go and start stealing and all that stuff.
Some of them that kidnap them for child trafficking. Most of the persons they accuse as which are having health challenges. Exactly, Tio, that's what we're saying.
When people don't understand something, they just say, "Oh no, you're bad, you're a witch." You don't care. If somebody is doing something, you don't ask them what's going on. Try and understand where they're coming from.
No humanity.
That's why we say some people are walking traumas and they don't even know.
And the walking traumas, they will enter into relationship.
Yeah.
And you people are wondering why there's relationship problem.
There were always relationship problems.
It is from the toxic parenting.
No, we've not healed. We've not healed from what went on when we were younger.
Yeah. You
just go in, boom, become adults. You too, when you give birth to your own children, you also think that they're the ones doing you in your marriage. Because there's some parents, there's some mothers that will hate their children because they will say, since I gave birth to you, your father has stopped as misbehaving. He no longer gives me attention. He's looking at you one kind, Then they hate.
We have put the link in the comment section so that people can come and share their opinion on today's issue, and then we can round it up. Because I think that it's very important that we highlight all these topics and we highlight all this issue. I know that the witchcraft thing is there, but there are also other ways where, like, the children, they really suffer. Now you have a lot of damaged adults walking up and down the streets. They will tell you that, oh, my village people are pushing me. Like, no, it is the trauma from your childhood. Go and read that book that we posted in the previous slide. Go and read it, because as far as I'm concerned, if a parent, if you know you are not ready, why are you having children? Why are you having children? Why are you procreating? If you yourself, you are not mentally okay, you are not mentally okay, you are not physically okay, emotionally or psychologically okay, or economically balanced in your brain, why are you bringing children to the world to suffer? How can you, some of the women that will be calling their children, will be carrying them to church, you carry your child for 9 months, some of you less than 9 months, you will suffer.
Some of them more than 9 months.
Some of them more than, you will suffer. Hope they will tear your body. Bring out this child. We call the child the possessed child.
You take them to altar.
You say you are going to cleanse them. Some of you, your children will be...
Children are they not the most pure of us all? So what are you going to cleanse from them?
Some of them will call that their children will be complaining to them that all these people that they are putting in their care are touching them in various places.
We say keep quiet.
They will say keep quiet there.
How dare you say about the holy person of God, holy man of God, holy woman of God? So that's what we have for today's
topic.
First live show of today. If anybody is calling in, we'll give you a couple of more minutes to call in. Otherwise, we end this one and go straight to the next
topic of today. Yeah,
we're just here to basically tell you that some things that you think that are ancient and things of the old, for example, this witchcraft thing,
is still happening today.
Many people in the 21st century still believe in it today.
Yeah, it's still happening today.
And they are still causing more harm. And like Yoyo was saying, how can some parts of our African countries be developed when people still have this mentality that human beings, like something spiritual that is so powerful in human beings, is the cause of their problem? Some of all these problems is caused by the government. It's caused by the government. For example, you are not finding job. You will think that it's your witchcraft auntie in the village or witchcraft uncle in the village that is stopping you from getting employment. But no, there are no system in place for you to have a job.
Social development.
There's no social development. Or somebody die by accident. You say my enemies are after me. What if it's because the road is bad? Oh, there are bad people. There are bad people. There are bad people. Bad people are everywhere. Bad things happen to good people, and it's not necessarily witchcraft. And everybody's afraid of themselves. You might be thinking I'm a witch that I'm doing you. I will be thinking you're the witch that is doing me. Meanwhile, none of us are witches.
No, misunderstanding.
So why are you having that thought?
Tio is saying that I have seen wickedness. It's even worse than witchcraft.
Exactly.
Don't witch. They put.
Don't witch them, but wicked.
Yeah.
Wickedness is the witchcraft.
Yeah. So
it's not any spiritual.
Some parents are wicked.
Then some people will come and say we want to blame Nollywood. It's because of the movies they used to show.
Which movie? Past.
Excuse me, please. Some of you used to watch Harry Potter in those days. How many of you believe that your Igbo people are witches?
Harry Potter not being witchcraft.
Is it not witch and sorcery? Or is it Merlin that had dragons? Why don't you believe in dragons? You will see fiction. You will come and be calling it real life. Because you see a person kill person for fame because of ritual. Then you go forth and now kill another person thinking to make you. Then you want to always come and put the blame somewhere. That movie is somebody's creativity. You cannot go and be branding your child a witch or be believing in all this nonsense, especially in today's world of today. I don't know how people think, how people reason. You see people casting and binding. Remember all those times when we used to live in Warri? All the churches around us praying and screaming, cast and bind, die by fire, cast and bind. What are you casting and binding and dying by fire? All of us are in the same suffer. There's nothing like person when
it's suffer.
Suffering is suffering. A better past my devil mentality has killed many people and their mentality.
And some parents don't listen to their children.
They don't.
Oh, Kiran! Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you.
Kiran. Is this Dr. Kiran?
This is Dr. Kiran.
Oh!
This is Dr. Kiran.
Thank you.
That's the thing we're saying.
Even the devil, they let. Yes, Annie.
Wickedness.
Wickedness is so wicked and cruel.
So people are so the wickedness. When they are so wicked like this, they will mask it in a manipulative way. You have parents that will be withdrawing love and be giving love.
Yeah.
They will be using it to be manipulating their children. Let me tell you, and they don't respect boundaries. All these toxic parents don't respect boundaries.
That's why if you are older and you are suffering from all this nonsense from your parents' system, block boundaries is very important. Because the bad part of life is that you tend to remember the negative things more than the positive things. Yes. It will stick to your memory, especially when it's coming from somebody that is supposed to love you beyond this life, like your father and your mother. Just imagine repeatedly they keep telling you are the cause of my problem. Your head, you are not getting progress in life, and this. I
look at you, your useless eyeballs. I don't know if it's because of these eyeballs now that I'm not even progressing.
Yes.
My businesses are not moving. Yes. Anytime you come to the shop, my business is not moving. Why? Because we are useless parents. Yes, I said it. We are useless parents. The ones that are good parents, you can see their fruits.
And you have some parents that you will think in public they are good, but inside they are
narcissistic parents
destroying their kids.
The narcissistic parents, some of them, this is their trait. In the house, they will not pay school fees for their children. No, they will not provide basic needs for their children. Not even for their children, they will not provide it. But they will be going outside and be doing givers. Their immediate responsibility, they don't take care of it. Toxic parenting. The ones that you call yourself pastors and pastors, to have time for your children to care for them. But where?
Some of them will be accusing their children that their children is not making their ministry. In a nutshell, I just here to tell you that stop believing in all this nonsense of witchcraft and whatever.
Yes.
If those people were truly witches, you think saying witch will not make their life better. You think witch don't want soft life? Which will continue to be living with you, that is you that they want to use. No, really. If somebody is a witch with all these so-called powers, why won't they just make themselves rich automatically?
Exactly.
Why do they need to go through you, the poor idiots?
My thing is that the wickedness and the painful thing is that, and there's something Annie is saying, it's control. Yes, you're absolutely right. When some parents can't control their children, they feel the child has some supernatural powers, hence they label them witch.
Exactly, Annie.
That's what we're talking about.
Some children want to become actors or actresses.
Very good.
The popular one we're growing up was footballers. footballer now. Many African parents, they want their children to be footballers because they are seeing money coming there. But when we're growing up, you will kill the dream of your child. You will destroy it. You will insult them. Then you now come and be saying, I pray for you for God to bless you. How can you use the same mouth that you used to curse them? Bless? It's not possible.
Yes, heavy manipulation.
Heavy manipulation.
Oh, my dear. Now, wow, you're not sending me any money again. What's going on? Your mates are here. So person is sending.
Why do you want money from a witch? Why do you want money from a witch?
You will call your daughter a prostitute. You will call her a witch. You will call her a good for nothing. You will say you will call your son to anything.
You will call your son a bastard.
You are the father of the son. You will still call your son a bastard. Thank you. You people. Most parents are really using bad sense for some. Yes,
exactly.
Boundaries.
Exactly. Boundaries are very, very, very. Anybody that is out to disturb your peace, may limit them. And people will treat you the way you teach them how to treat you.
Yeah, fact.
Don't expect good from someone that's been treating you bad for a long time. Never.
If your parents have never acknowledged you for anything,
just be seeing them as outsiders. You have to train your mind that way, and you have to feel yourself.
It takes time. That's what we're saying. Go and read.
It takes time. It takes time.
It takes time. Oh, I'm telling you. Hey,
so I think this is what we have for today's live. I don't know. I don't think anybody will be coming in. So I think we should be going to the next live show. Next live show that's happening now.
My message to those toxic parents: you toxic, wicked, selfish, manipulating, good for nothing.
Wow. That's a lot.
Human beings.
If your parents are like this, please send them this video on
that
WhatsApp.
cause harm.
Send them this video on WhatsApp. If your
that
parents
cause
are like
harm.
this, send it
good evening. That cause harm to their children. You wicked father and wicked mother. Good for nothing. Evil people. That you cause pain to your child. You bring the misery. You bring the pain. You make them question why they are alive. You make them question why they are born into this world. You make their brain go gaga. Some of them will be thinking of taking their life because of your wickedness. Because the voice of your wickedness is echoing in their skull and they are fighting it every day. Anytime they see the text message from you as their useless parents, their heart skips and their heart beats. They will be living far away from you, but their heart will continue to be beating like that because of the bloodlines and everything that connects. But your wickedness, you refuse to see beyond. And say, oh, look introspectively and say, this is my fault. Why is my child behaving like this? Maybe I should listen to my child. Maybe I should listen to the silent tears and cries of my child. No, those parents, they don't do. You wicked, useless parents, we're coming for you today. We're coming for you today. This is your medicine.
This is a grain of salt of all the talk because my story is plentiful.
A grain of medicine. What about the ones
that?
There's another particular one that will be shaming their children in front of their fellow relatives.
Yes, that's the part of
I will report you to your auntie and your uncle. Then those useless aunties and uncle, we have the nerves to call you and be interrupting your life.
Children of adults before. It's time to block those aunties and uncles.
People who know me personally, they know me. If it's going to disturb my peace, I don't want it, please. Let's read what's going on in the comments.
Amazing Dr. Yi, we welcome. He's saying, he or she is saying, witches in developed world practice its opening as a religion, but in Nigeria, it's used as an accusation to divide homes.
Facts, amazing doctor. Facts.
People are using their witchcraft to make money. People are there. Killing people and doing the most. And he's saying, after causing them, and they lose all their self-esteem and become useless, they will then say it is their neighbor's witchcraft that spoiled the death.
Thank you.
Oh, my Annie.
Thank you.
Annie, God will bless you wherever you are.
Thank you. Thank you so. See our sister. Oh boy. Hey, this is heavy. $50 super chat. Jeez. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. We really appreciate you. We really appreciate you. These parents. Listen, me, I don't have respect for useless parents.
Respect is reciprocal, regardless of age. Respect is reciprocal.
If you're an adult right now and you are living by yourself, and your parents are still, they are still pressing you. Especially in this time, you know that social media has made life easy for people now. In those days, if you want to talk to your child, I mean, you go write letter. They go wait now.
Or they will go to pay phone.
They will get to travel.
They will go to pay phone. Nowadays, it's WhatsApp.
Now I'll tell you,
Forward this video to them.
Forward it. Cut the part you want to cut.
Forward. No,
forward
not cut forward everything. They must hear every single thing of it. Because you cannot cause pain to somebody. My own is that you cannot cause this kind of pain to somebody.
And you know this wicked.
I still be living well.
These wicked parents, they sleep very well at night. You will be the one
yes,
not to be sleeping well.
Yes.
And he said, I know someone who had a narcissistic mother. Those ones are the worst. Wicked mother who would deny him of meals if he doesn't do to her bidding.
Is that not wickedness?
Yes, so
wickedness.
Those people.
Mother will call her daughter prostitute. Father will call son bastard. He who creates bastard and she who creates prostitute. What are you?
There is she bastard prostitute that parenting. Yes, I just said that. No, me no fear. No regard. Once you are a wicked human being, no regard. I don't want to have them to. Now, this is my suggestion. I know they give advice. This is my suggestion to people who are adults now. Because some people are like in their 50s, their 60s, some in their 40s, their 30s, their 20s, they are still afraid of their parents. Afraid of who?
Why are you afraid of human beings? Mere mortals. Any of us can die at this time. Mere mortals. And these children that grow up in fear, they become afraid of authority. Yes. That's why Nigeria is like, I don't want to even move to Nigeria. That's why Nigeria, Africa is like this today.
No voice.
They have been suppressed. Imagine for every day of your life, your parents are telling you how useless and not good of a child you are. You grow up, you hear those voices for the rest part of your life if you allow it.
You go to work, you go out for interview. That's the thing.
Your employer will treat you anyhow. You cannot talk back at them because your parents did the same thing to you.
Exactly. On some of you, this will happen. Anytime good thing want to happen, that's the time the phone will be ringing. They will send you message.
Your parents.
They will be sending you message and be calling. You yes, here.
Please unmute yourself. Welcome.
Hey, beautiful sisters.
Thank you for this. This donation when you put
we need to support now. Now they do good work. Who they do good work, they need support. So we all need support now. If we not support each other, who we want support?
No, you too much.
If we not support each other, who we help? We only have us now, you know what I mean? So you guys are doing amazing work, and this topic especially is very important, Hopefully people when they need to hear and go they hear them, because parenting a very serious issue. The way they say they parent people for, where they say they parent people for, especially where we come from, it's very sad because you have a lot of young people that they don't destroy their self-esteem. They don't destroy their confidence, and they feel say the only way they can be something in life is to do the opposite, even when a child comes to this world with natural abilities, talent, skills, parents go successfully knock them out of that child, scare it out of them just because of their own selfish intention. Or because somebody outside tell them, say, this your pikin, this your pikin, if you know hold on, terrible, unsolicited advice. They don't use that destroy people's lives, plenty, So, I mean, it's a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm glad that the conversation is being had, because whether we believe it or not, there are people who are really now questioning things and wanting to do better, so that we can have a healthy society. So it's a very important topic. Una really do well. This topic hot. A better topic, Yeah.
I have a question to ask you.
Sure.
What do you think? Do you think that we had this? I don't know when you came in, right? So let me put back the circle again.
Okay.
Circle on the screen, right? That we have here. The cycle of toxic parenting. Do you think that this toxic parenting affects some of the relationship issues that are going on today?
Absolutely. Because when a child lacks confidence in themselves, right? When they meet someone who, shows them a little bit, gives them a little bit of opportunity to experience that sense of self, it becomes intoxicating for them. And whatever lie, it could be false confidence, it could be false self-esteem. So it's like now somebody, maybe at home, you were never told you were beautiful, for instance. Your parents never appreciated you, not necessarily saying to a child, oh, you're beautiful, whatever, but affirming that child. Imagine growing up and not having that, right? When you're outside of the house and you're interacting with other people from different parts of the world, and if someone tells you, just gives you a very small compliment, you've never heard it before, all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, you know what I mean? It lights up your face and you feel like that person has given you everything, and then you settle for less. You're just settling for the words that are coming out of the person's mouth. Or maybe your parents never provided for you, and then you have someone barely providing you the bare minimum. Maybe the person takes you out and buys you a meat pie and Fanta. And the next thing you have settled your entire life for this person. Absolutely, because the way you parent a child will actually, you know how they say you raise a child, you don't even know whether you're doing the good work of raising a child until that child is out of the home and grown. That's when you really know that you raised that child properly. And it's so true, because what you put inside a child, after so many years, it will begin to express itself. You begin to see it, right? In the choices that child makes, in the decision they make, in the lifestyle they choose. You begin to see it, little by little. Parenting is not a joke. I say, if you don't understand, and if you don't have enough love to bring another human being into the world, just don't do it. The fact that everybody else is doing it does not mean, right, that you ought to do it. It's not supposed to be like that. If you are designed, go and adopt and pour your love on those people.
They should be by themselves. They should be by themselves.
Exactly. Some people want to, some people still, after they want to, they're craving. I'm just saying, okay, fine. Donate to an orphanage home. You don't have to adopt. You understand? Donate, contribute. If you don't have enough love, if you know that you are not psychologically and mentally ready, some people know that they are mentally messed up. I remember someone was saying, the person on TV here, the person has mental issues, but the person says, that he loves being around children and he can't wait to have his own. And I'm saying, well, you have all these unresolved mental issues. You yourself admitted that you have unresolved mental issues. You have bipolar. You have this. Why do you want to bring a child into that? Because you're gonna pass down the dysfunction. You know what I mean? So as a society, we need to be having they're tough questions, but they're not really tough, because you need to determine what kind of life you want to live. Most people grow up in messed up. There are people who don't like their children. They don't like their children.
Yes. That's very
and they can't stand to be around their children. I've seen it. They don't like their children. They don't even like the women or the men they married.
Yes, very true.
So it starts to show up in places like that. When they are talking to their children, you see them talking anyhow, cursing them, cursing all the curse that people outside will curse them, and you will fight the person. They will sit on that child because they don't like the person they're with, and they don't even like the children.
Exactly.
They were not ready.
Exactly. It's true. Some parents don't like their children. But we live in a society that is in denial.
Exactly. Some people don't. Okay, like
like your papa people. See, as you war like your mama.
Exactly.
As your mother.
Thank you. You understand what I'm saying? Because at the end of there was a story, there was a recent story about a couple, and I think the man unalived his daughters and put them in the refrigerator.
Yeah, we did the video.
You did? Okay. I saw it was circulating, and I just saw a clip. I didn't even go into it. I just read it. I was like, I can't do it. I can't watch this. I can't look at it.
He told his wife that they are going to appear on the news.
Yes.
That he was going. He said it. He told his wife. He told his wife.
He said it.
Can you imagine?
He already threatened in the past to check this out. He already threatened in the past to kill the children.
The daughters.
The daughters never wanted to be close to the dad because of the way he treats them. So he has the children. So children they
know.
Toxic parents.
The children, they know. So the wife, she called her brother and she called the man's sister and reported the issue. And the sister-in-law said he will not do anything like that. Maybe he's just upset, forget about it. While her brother called her husband and admonished him and said, "You cannot be saying things like that. Don't do like that. Don't talk like that and whatnot." But he went ahead and he performed the act and he killed the children. You know that this man for 3 years after he came back from Dubai, he was not providing for his family. Nothing.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You know, okay, that's a clear example of someone that does not love his wife, not talk of the children. Even the woman herself does not love herself. Because if a man tells you that, whether it's in play or in seriousness, and tells you, oh, there'll be a time, that you say it one time, it's enough.
It's enough.
It's enough. No matter you see, this thing about love is not how much money you have. Wow. It's how aware you. Because I remember growing up at home in Nigeria, right? You can't, as a child, they used to call me stubborn. Why were they calling me stubborn? Because I did not take the bull. I can call out anybody's BS at any given time. It doesn't matter who you are. That's the person I was. So when I would come around elders, right? You know, when as a child, you're playing around elders and maybe the elder is trying to talk, I will just use my own corny way to escape the situation and say, no, that's not true, and run away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did that come from? That came from the fact that my dad instilled it as a young person. My dad used to come around. We used to play drums together. My dad was a good drummer. So he used to play drums around with us. He used to play with us. He didn't joke with us. We knew that. He used to, if anybody comes close to us, he'd be like, leave my children alone. Do not intimidate my children. Even my mom, my dad used to admonish my mom. He gets some kind of beating when mama go beat us. My papa go say, I tell you, say me not touch these children when I'm not there around. I say I warn you, because you know you sabi beat children. So when my dad will travel, he will tell us, if my mom touches you, let me know. There was a time my mom beat, because my mom does not know how to flog. My mom used to flog us like she was fighting on the street. Okay, so there was this time she flogged me. She almost took out one of my eye. My mom literally, she did wake night that day. She begged me that please, I should not tell my dad. My mom was begging me. When my dad came back and he saw it, the man screamed, "What happened to you?" I said I fell from a tree. Till the man passed away, God rest his soul, I never told him. My mom was that afraid of my dad. She would never touch us. All that comes from a place of upbringing. Yeah. If you don't have the right people around you, I was fortunate enough. I had friends who had fathers who showed good example. They would take us out. He would take me and his daughters out to restaurant. Then in Warri, he would take us out and he would say, "You know what? I'm taking you people to this expensive restaurant so that some guy from somewhere will not come out with Fanta and say, I bought you Fanta, so you fall in love with them." So all these things are things that if the right foundation is given, right? If the right foundation is laid, you will see us having healthy adults, healthy leaders. Okay, look at the state of the world right now. And I was saying, I was talking to my older sister recently, and I said to her, I said, you know what? We lack a lot of analytical thinking, analytical minds in Nigeria. People just take what they are fed. People don't question it. This is why we have the leadership that we have. You can't just throw stuff at people and then somebody will come during the election and give you bag of rice. And it's enough for you to sell out your generation. There is something wrong with that.
Fundamentally.
You understand what I'm saying? And it's not about, I don't have enough money to feed. What do you have to eat? What do you have? When I was growing up, when I was growing up then, my dad had yam farm, gari farm. We were 7. So he knew that food was very important.
Yeah.
So we had surplus of food. There was nothing that you wanted to eat that you could not eat. Cocoyam. Is it cocoyam? Oh my God. We had all types of foods. We had vegetable gardens. We had beans. We grew beans. We grew we grew our own egusi. We did. Okay. Now, why am I saying all of this? Because if a child is not being given whatever you have in your house, you make it enough for you. There was a time that we eat gari and palm kernel, we'll crack it behind the house and eat it with gari. That was food. That was a delicacy. So, this whole sense of, it's poverty. No, sometimes not. It's the
wickedness. It's wickedness now.
It's the mindset, is the wickedness, is the evil that is already inside a person. You have unhealthy people bringing into existence unhealthy people. You give birth to and if someone is not healthy, guess what? These things run in the DNA. This is how this thing goes. You will not have a child. That child will not carry those same toxic traits.
Transfer aggression.
Why? Because you're not healthy. You were not healthy before you give birth to this child. Why is it that you give birth to children at a certain age, right? And they are messed up, and then you will not compare them to the children you gave birth to at the time where you knew better and you were in a healthy place. Huge difference. Huge difference. The ones that the person brought to the world were very, very shy, easily intimidated, lack of confidence, low self-esteem. The one who gave birth to themselves.
I said, and they don't think for themselves. Like
they don't. No analytical mind, no critical way of thinking, no ability to say, hey, you know what? Common sense sisters, what you said, I disagree with you. This is my take on it. Questions, be critical of the littlest thing. Why is 1 + 1 2? Why does it have to be 2?
You can't ask questions.
You understand what I'm saying? You can't have. So when you have a generation like that, how can that? It can't be healthy. You cannot have fruitful citizens. You can't. Half of the people who migrate from Nigeria to other places, why do they spend time trying to heal themselves from trauma?
The ones that allow themselves so, because
the ones that allow them
they just stay stuck, and they continue that nonsense. Remember the story of that family in the UK that their son was mentally challenged, and they gathered
the mother, and the children. They gathered him together, and
they were doing exorcism prayers until the boy dies.
In the UK, Nigerian family.
Today they are in prison.
They are in prison. Yes, this happened like I think 2-3 years ago in the UK. Real life story. Some of the parents, you are very right about this thing. Some people are trying to heal from their trauma when they move out of the country, when they allow themselves to be exposed mentally.
Yeah, like I said, your life you start asking questions.
Fact. Now there are some of these useless, toxic parents that carry tribalism from Nigeria and carry it to abroad. They will tell their children that they gave birth to in abroad, that's also and so tribe. Don't talk to them.
Or they will say, in Kechi, it's because you are talking to Shalewa, you are not doing witchcraft things like Shalewa.
Exactly.
Quote unquote, Yoruba people, their witchcraft very strong. Igbo people, witchcraft too strong. The one where they bias and their own witchcraft strong.
Exactly.
Why are human
so they migrate with that mindset and they
exactly
with it. It is crazy because then people get into a relationship with such people. And then that's why it's very dysfunctional to think when someone becomes an adult with this type of toxic mindset that you can now change them. But they have to deal with their trauma. Exactly, they have to deal with their trauma from that part.
Exactly. So that's why it's very important, because these conversations we're having, right? Whether there are people that will listen in and begin to understand certain things about themselves and why they grew up the way they grew up and why they were dealing with issues that they were dealing with. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you can't always get it right. Nobody came from a perfect background. But one thing is sure, if you did not learn it as you're growing, you cannot continue to say it's because I grew up like this. It's because I did not know. It's because of this.
Please repeat that thing you said again.
The fact that you did not have the right upbringing, or something was wrong as you were growing up, or things went wrong, you can't continue to blame that.
Thank you.
You have to intentionally on your own undo and start to unlearn and relearn those things that work for your own personality. We don't do that. A lot of people blame. They blame. Oh, I grew up. I didn't do that. That's an excuse. That's not where the problem. You are not focusing on how you're going to fix this. How you're going to fix it is by you acknowledging first. Yes, okay. I grew up in this way. My parents, I guess, didn't know better, and I was taught wrong. So it's not my duty to unlearn. When I came to the United States, I had to unlearn a whole lot of stuff. It was painful. It was very, very long process. There were moments of, self-acknowledgement that was too hurtful to acknowledge, but I had to. Why? Because I want to be a better person. I don't want to live life like everybody else did. So I chose a very difficult, path to take. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I had men that were coming, Nigerian men, I want to marry you, but I look at them, because I've been doing the work, I saw everything wrong with them. I would ask them, are you sure you're really ready to settle down? Do you really want to get married? Because you don't sound like you're ready to. You sound like it, but your actions don't show it. When I say stuff like that, they're like, you have Americanized all this grammar that you're speaking. We know where we are coming from now.
Meaning that you know the toxicity, you know how we roll.
We know how we roll. You know what I mean? A woman know now, woman do this now, woman do that. Now, in my mind, I'm shaking my head like, wow. For a while, I thought, man, bless not let me. I don't know whether there's anybody else. I don't know if there's any other Nigerian man out there that thinks like that. Until I met one Nigerian guy, I can count in my one finger the number of Nigerian men I have met that have done the work, and their mentality is so different. It's unbelievable. Different. They don't think like the typical Nigerian way of thinking. We will speak pidgin, we will speak the whatever when we need to, but they're very critical in their thinking.
Just funny to give a shout out to some of the men on the Common Sense squad. You all are part of this list. You all
exactly.
To Samolu, to Adewale,
exactly.
Actively changing to Lisa, to actively changing this eroded mentality.
Exactly.
What Egosa has said here is like, he's always saying that you can never be intelligent and smart if you read just one book all your life. And you know what that book is. Everybody know what that book is. People use this same book to cause atrocities.
Exactly.
Not me go use my mouth, stop waiting the book be. But just to give you a hint of this book, it talks about Jewish history. People should learn and listen. Today's topic is very, very important. You have to wash your brain with Omo. And like Omo has said, because this happened to you and that's what you are used to, it doesn't mean that as an adult you should just transfer it or stay and say we should have self-pity on you. No, not everybody had the perfect upbringing. All of us have some sort of trauma in us, but it's our duty as adults to do better. And if you choose not to do better, I beg, don't procreate. And don't also adopt. Stay in your own evilness like that. The world will be a better place.
Omoye, what are your final words?
Okay. My final words. Okay. Thank you. So my final word is this, because I could go on. Thanks for stopping me, because I could go on.
Stop you now. Before we get another life, another life is going to be hot.
This one up so we can create the link.
Okay. I see. Okay. Final word is that as individuals having this conversation, we all should actively be unlearning the things that were taught to us that were wrong, that we now know and can confirm that are wrong. And what's wrong to one person may be right to the other person, but just find what works for you and your tribe and keep on learning and don't be afraid to relearn. Don't be afraid to unlearn the way of doing things that were not working, that has set us back centuries. Relearn the good things, take the good and impact your children with the good. Because I know that our generation is going to breed better, healthier adults, because we're having these conversations, and hopefully it reaches the heart of the people that it needs to reach, and even those that are not even interested, but they will find something in them that they can unlearn and relearn. And thank you very much, girls, for this topic. This was hot.
Thank you so much, Omoya, and thanks for your contribution, and thanks for the super chat, the $50 super chat.
Thank you so much.
We'll hopefully catch
You're
you
welcome.
very soon.
That is in what, 3 minutes?
Yes, so very soon.
Okay. All right then.
Thank you.
Now we are rounding up this live because we have another live. You put the Common Sense Squad requested for 2 lives.
Yeah. And you know how we always respect what you have to say. This is the proof here.
Yeah.
You people chose number 3, both. So today is Toxic African Parenting and Relationship Saga. Now, we know our relationship junkies are here.
Yeah. And we don't want to lose them.
We don't want to lose the junkies.
We don't want to lose them. Now, these are not my final words. These are the rounding up words for today, because we will come back in the future with more distance.
More problems. My
My message to the toxic parents: if you are doing these things that everybody has talked about, some of you will say, I don't know if I'm toxic or not.
Ask your children. Ask them. Say, have I been a good father and mother to you? Ask them. Ask them. Tell me what I've done wrong to you. And shut the fuck up. Let them talk.
Yeah.
If you feel like talking with them, glue your mouth.
Carry peg.
Peg your mouth and let your children know. And after that, you keep quiet for some time.
You have to listen, not passively. Actively. Active listening is intentional listening, not
to defend yourself.
Not listening because you want to defend yourself or because you want to interject.
Yeah,
that's not active listening. That's passive aggressive listening.
That's witchcraft listening.
If all these things we have talked about, Omoya has also come to join us to talk about it today. We have talked about you exhibit some, even if it's one of these traits, it is time for you to do internal introspective reflection and work towards your journey of changing. Your journey of changing. If your children, if you are harming them, number 1, you have to ask them, where have I gone wrong? Or where do you think I have wronged you? Can you, even if you don't want to say it to me, can you write it to me? And every time,
and if they don't want to talk, leave them.
And you have to, and if they're not ready to talk, let them know that you will be ready whenever they are ready. That is number 1. Number 2, there has to be consequences when you have that conversation. Because some of you, your parents, your mouth will be moved. Tell your children, for every time I interrupt you, I will pay so and so amount of money, cash at hand.
Yes.
To them as your consequences.
Yes.
Number 3, there's no excuse not to choose to evolve. We put in a book here. This book, I have read it. The book on the left, How to Do the Work, Recognize Your Patterns, Heal from Your Past, and Create. Some of you will say, I don't have money to go for therapists. Go and Google that book and start reading. Start reading, start on learning. And it will do you service to yourself, to your family, and to the world if you choose to evolve and discontinue those toxic traits. Let love lead. Let love be the mantra that you are using to procreate and create a very wholesome environment for your children to grow up in and for the society to enjoy the fruits of that positive labor you are impacting into the world. Those are my final words.
My goodwill message to evil parents. You get the drift. The family is the most important unit of life. When the family is broken, the society is broken. Because we are all product of families, whether it's dysfunctional family or functional family. All of us come from a unit of man and woman that had sex and produced us in life. As a parent, you owe it to your children to give them the best. If these children are here, you must treat them right. You must show them the positive way. You must shower them with love. And it's your responsibility to build the self-esteem of your child and to feed them with good knowledge. If you do not have all these qualities as a parent, meaning that you already have children, it's time for you to evolve. If you are a person and you don't have kids and you realize that you are suffering from this trauma or you have certain traits like this, you can help yourself by going outside, researching on how to better yourself, even if you don't have the money to pay for therapy. And when you are finally healed, then you can go forth and procreate. Remember, witchcraft and sorcery and other nonsense in the Western world, they use it to make money. If you are a witch and you are in Africa, true, look for positive means to make money.
What?
Look for positive means to make money. Yes, now there are different shows on what that people go and do shows here. People pay to go and watch. Use your witchcraft for positivity. Don't go and be harming people up and down and accusing them of witchcraft and casting them away into witchcraft village like some people do in Ghana. These are our final words for this video, and please stay online because we'll create the link. We'll catch you for the second video.
And also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. You can share the video. Just click the share and then share the link. Drop it on your WhatsApp status or anything. Just drop it there. Until we see you next time.
In the next video.
And for those who are going to watch it back, may this common sense
never depart from you.
Bye. See you.